Welcome to the third month Etsy shop update in my series. I'm Lisi, a 30-year-old multi-passionate mama and wife. I recently just quit my job and took a real leap of faith without a backup plan, trying to create a business and a life on my own terms. In this video, we're going to go over the third month Etsy results on my shop, standard stuff. Then I really want to talk about the mentality behind the shop. I know this is not necessarily the typical Etsy update video. I think this will be really important for those of you who just started a shop or are thinking about starting a shop. Keep watching. I promise it's going to benefit you in some way or another. I also want to discuss a new strategy that I am implementing to get more Etsy results. It's not actually related to Etsy, but I think that this is going to be a game changer for me as well. Okay, so right now I'm going into my shop manager to see my stats. Let's look at the last 30 days. So I've definitely gotten a lot more views, a lot more visits. Pretty sure a lot of that has to do with YouTube. Some of you have mentioned to me, left comments, pretty much telling me that it's not a good idea to put my shop information out there because it can mess with my stats. And basically tell Etsy that people are not interested in my product because people from YouTube are just clicking on it out of curiosity and not to purchase. I understand the thinking and I think that makes sense, but at the same time, I feel like my shop and the amount of listings that I have right now are not that significant. I definitely want to have way more. Right now I only have 10, so I definitely need to multiply this exponentially before I can really start seeing some results. But at the end of the day, you guys, and I reserve the right to change my mind about this, but right now I really just want to be transparent. I feel like if I don't show the shop, something doesn't sit right with me. I don't mind that other people hide their shop when they're showing their results. For me, my gut is telling me that I should share the shop. I should be as honest and transparent as I can possibly be so that I can really show people if I end up getting this to the point of having any kind of passive income, any revenue. I really want to prove to everybody that it's possible. So I think it's important that I keep it up. Thank you so much for even having the concern to tell me. But I think for now, I feel okay with leaving the shop available for people to view through YouTube. Speaking of the listings, since we're already here, I did want to talk a little bit about the last 3 listings that I put up. You can see here that they're all black and white. The reason why I only have these 3 in the last month, my original goal was 5 listings a month, but I only managed to get 3 done, is because I actually made bundles out of these and I had to kind of redesign several of them. So for example, this one, I did a daily, weekly, and monthly planner set. So it's 3 pages. One is the daily, one's the weekly, one's the monthly. I actually really love these. I've been printing them for myself. So we've got the daily planner here with the schedule from 5 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., priority list, a to-do list. We've got the mood, basically like a snapshot of your day. I love stuff like this. That makes it more personal. And then a section for notes down here, a weekly version of it. We have Sunday and Monday starts, the monthly planner, and I made everything fillable. You'll basically get access to several different sizes, but this latest one that I did actually has the 4 sizes. I changed up the picture a little bit just to see if it would gain any more traction, but it's basically somewhat of the same thing, but I just updated some of the way that it was designed to have a little less ink since I've already got the gray on the borders here. We got a habit section for the week. You know I love my habit tracker, and this one also has fillables as well with 4 different sizes. So that's why this took me a while, because I had to make so many different versions of each thing. Canva does make it easy to change the sizing. Sometimes it's a little wonky and you need to move things back around to make sure that it looks fine. So probably the biggest thing that took the most time was doing the fillable PDF. Maybe it's just a program I was using Adobe Acrobat. I posted a YouTube short on my frustration with the program, which I'll link below, where basically anytime I just placed a box somewhere and it would load for like 2 minutes. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I know it's not my computer because I actually just upgraded my computer. Video editing is great. So I don't know what's up with this basic PDF program that can't handle a simple click. So I'm going to show you what they look like in person. So when you download the bundle that I was just talking about, it will look like this. It'll be a zip file. If you're on a Mac, you can just double click it and then it creates the folder. In the folder, you have the daily, weekly, and monthly templates. I also have a planner tips PDF that just kind of goes over the best practices, in my opinion, on how to use a planner. Just a little way to say thank you and add some more value. Over here in the daily, so here we have the A4 daily template, the A5 size, the fillable, the half letter, and the letter size. So here's the fillable template. See how everything can be clicked in. So you can put the date, you can put in your schedule, you can put your priorities. Even on the today section, mood, listening to, looking forward to, and then the notes down here, which I currently use that section for like the next day's notes. So today is March 21. Priority was to film this video. Mood is productive and joyful. I'm just happy to be back into this, honestly, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and print this one because I haven't printed it yet today. So you can see sometimes things get a little cut off depending on your printer settings. So I just go ahead, instead of 100%, I do scale to fit. So make sure that the whole border is going to be in here. I make it black and white just so that the printer doesn't try to use any color. And I go ahead and print. This is what it looks like when it's all printed. I actually really like the white border. I feel like it makes it look clean. Good sizing. You can see the stuff I filled in, printed. Love, love, love these so much. And they've been so helpful for me, especially the schedule. I didn't think I'd be like a minute by minute planner, but just doing a loose outline of my day has just been so helpful. I want to show you one more thing. I did sort of redesign my banner. I added like this purple wave up here because I felt that it tied all the colors down here a little bit more. Some of you mentioned that my backgrounds were getting a bit washed out. I didn't want to change it 100% because I did like it, did like something about it. So what I ended up doing is putting these colored waves because I'm cloud color PDF. And I think just kind of going with that branding, I think it looks really cute. I still think that I could improve the listing, like the font and stuff, but for now I'm not gonna obsess over it too much. I just need to keep plowing forward. As I said in the beginning of the video, I really want to talk about the mental part of starting an Etsy shop or even a business in general. I think some of these concepts can be applied to many different fields. Though my situation is very specific, I do think that this will get you thinking about some very important aspects of Etsy success and what that means to you. Let me start by pointing out that my journey is not going to look like anybody else's. The fact is that I am a mother, and I'm not using that as an excuse, but it's an unavoidable fact that informs the rest of my life. So much of my life right now entails taking care of those around me. I'm also at a point in my life now where I'm very, very aware of my mental and physical health, so that is a big priority to me as well. As some of you already know, I recently left my job at the end of November 2022. I wasn't feeling successful as a mother, as a wife, as a person, and honestly, I just ignored the warning signs, the red flags of my mental and physical health for far too long. Therefore, my current goals with Etsy are not just around the financial success. It's very much about the sustainability and the longevity of the business. I want to be able to maintain the workload so that I can still thrive in the most important areas of my life. And naturally, this is going to mean that my journey is going to take longer than somebody else who's not in my position. I really, really don't want this leap of faith that I've taken to be taken in vain. I don't want to end up in the same position that I was before for the sake of chasing money. And so that is why it's very important for me to make sure that my journey is different from the toxic hustle mentality. So in order to achieve this, I've realized that I really need to start modeling the way I want my life to be now, put it into practice now, so that when the eventual financial success, I hope, does come down the line, I already have set the foundation, the framework that I'm going to exist in as my ideal work-life balance. If I fall into the trap of the toxic hustle now, convincing myself it's temporary, I worry that I'm always going to be chasing the carrot, the financial success, instead of worrying about what really matters to me, and they're non-negotiable. To set that into practice now, I think is the best way for me to make it sustainable. The answer to this for me is boundary setting. That means I'm going to be limiting hours. I'm not going to be working after the kids get home from school. I'm not going to be working on the weekends. I'm going to have dedicated family time, dedicated self-care time. Those are going to be the priorities, and then the work will fill in the gaps around that. Before, it was the opposite. It was everything had to fall in line around the work, the crazy never-ending work schedule. So as you can imagine, I was never really getting anything done in my personal life. I was never feeling fulfilled in my personal life. And I just realized that a pile of laundry and dirty dishes are over there. But hey, that's real life, baby. This also includes being able to stay flexible when situations change and I'm not able to get as much done as I'd hoped. Instead of beating myself up, I think I really need to just unlearn a lot of the programming from the past, being a workaholic and just roll with the changes, because ultimately this is what I wanted. I wanted that time to be able to slow down and disconnect at any time that I need to. If a child is sick, the project I'm working on is taking longer than I expected, I just need to rest. I want to be able to do that. So again, it's the boundary setting and it's staying flexible with my goals. Speaking from personal experience, I know it can be so easy to listen to these Etsy gurus or see someone else's Etsy success happening like that in month 1, month 2, and it's so easy to fall into the comparison trap. Especially when you are not seeing the same results, you start looking back and wondering, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? And it may not be that you're doing anything wrong at all. You just need to trust the process. You need to put more listings up. You just need to keep your head down, keep doing what you're doing in your niche. And I'm here to remind you that we don't know what that person's situation is. Even me, if you're watching me right now, and I hope in the future, I will be able to share more success with the shop, I want to remind you that I'm in a very specific situation. Right now, I quit my job, and not everybody has the luxury to quit their job. These other gurus that we might be watching, they might not have a family. They might have no other responsibility other than deciding what they're going to DoorDash that day. Maybe they have somebody helping them make listings, designing products. So that's 2 people that are, or multiple people that are putting in on the same shop. You could just be doing this alone. I'm doing this 100% alone. So that's why I know it's going to take me a little bit longer to get as many listings as I want up. And dare I say it, some of these gurus might even be lying, falsifying their results just for the sake of views, for being seen as some kind of guru. And I'm not saying that is what everyone's doing, but the point of the matter is that we don't know. And I'm only saying this because I was tempted to fall into this trap as well. We cannot compare our journeys to anyone else's. It goes right back to the fact that our journeys are our own. So let's do ourselves a favor in abstaining from comparison, because it's a fruitless endeavor, and we can just keep focusing on our own journey. If you can only put up 1 listing a week, 1 listing a month in the season you're in, just keep going. Even though my shop is not having any real success right now, like no sales in the last couple months, I'm going to keep trusting the process. I'm just going to keep putting as many listings as I can. Once I have closer to 100 listings, and then I can evaluate from there. But until I get there, I'm not gonna fret. I'm actually happy that my shop doesn't have any major success at the moment, because it really reinforced these concepts to me and reminded me of why I'm doing this and why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Yeah, I do see some people that are like having thousands of dollars in revenue in their first month. I'm like, how? It's better to not put energy there. And for those curious about my Etsy shop goals, the financial goals, I am keeping it very, very realistic for myself. I could set a lofty goal of 6 figures in 1 year, but I just feel like that's setting myself up for disappointment. I really want to be in the position where I'm celebrating all the wins, especially the small ones, because it's the baby steps, the compounding progress over time that makes the difference. I just know how I operate. To stay focused, to keep it sustainable, I just need to have a realistic goal. If I can get profit of $500 in 1 month by December of 2023, so at the end of this year, if I can make $500, then I will consider it a success, because it will have proven to me that I can actually make money in this space, and I can just keep building from there. $500 by the end of the year probably sounds so lame and shooting so low, but that's nothing to scoff at. $500 in passive income, that could be a huge help to somebody, and it would be a huge help to me. I guess what I'm ultimately trying to say is you just need to enjoy the journey, no matter how it looks. It's your journey. Just keep going. If you started or you haven't, celebrate the fact that you even took the tiniest step forward, man. Truly, because no one else is going to do it for you. You be your best hype man. That's all I gotta say on that. All right, and now let's talk strategy. New strategy that I wanted to implement, but it doesn't actually have anything to do with Etsy itself. This is actually very much in line with what I was just talking about, more of a mindset shift. I decided that there was one thing that I could and would do that would help me see faster Etsy success without negotiating any of my priorities. It is a dopamine detox. If you're not familiar with this concept, I will link a video below. The basic concept is just removing the constant desire for instant gratification activities, entertainment, by not allowing yourself to engage in instant gratification activities for a certain amount of time. The idea is eventually your brain will start to crave like gratification and entertainment so badly that it'd be willing to engage in long-term gratification activities more willingly. We live in a society where we can pull up any bit of information or entertainment at will, sometimes it takes away from the potential of us putting our efforts into something that would actually grow a skill, that would give us experience. Personally, I feel like this constant desire to be entertained is one of my biggest time wasters at the moment. I don't really spend much time on social media as it is, but YouTube, I can spend so many hours on YouTube. It's not that YouTube is bad. I use a lot of my time on YouTube to delve deeper into topics that I'm interested about, but at the end of the day, these hours could be used towards gaining the experience and actually producing stuff. I think this is a common thing for people. They stay in the research phase a little too long and waste precious time that they could have been actually putting things out into the world and seeing what sticks. I think it'll be a game changer for me to just have more time to be prolific without overstepping the boundaries that I've set, and less opportunities for me to get distracted from my goal. Unless I'm having like some kind of movie night with my kids, that will be the exception. But when it comes to just getting sucked into something for the sake of just being entertained, I'm going to be done with that for a while. And I think it'll be really good for me. That's it for now. I'm posting an Etsy update about every month now. You can watch the entire Etsy shop update series in a playlist that I've linked. I'll put the card somewhere and a link in the description below if you're interested in watching my journey. I'm also going to be talking about Sales Samurai in the near future in a separate video. They reached out to me and offered access to their platform to basically see if I'll recommend it to you guys or not. Right now, it's still a little too soon to give my honest opinion on it. Thanks for being patient with me and stay tuned for that. Anyway, I hope the discussion about mindset and business and starting something new was really helpful for you. I'm speaking to myself just as much as I'm speaking to you. And as always, see you in the next one.